So how old were you when you first found out you were pregnant?
I was 18 years old when I first found out, and then I had the baby when I was 19.
How was the relationship with your father, with her father, whenever you told them that you were pregnant with your baby?
Um, Initially, he just kind of really didn't have a reaction. I don't think he knew, like, how to feel, and honestly, I don't think he really cared that much. I don't think that, he understood, like, what I was saying to him. We're going to have a little baby, a child that we have to take care of. I think it kind of just, like, went over his head, and he went about his business.
How did you tell your family, and what was their reactions to it?
Honestly, my mother had said something to me about being pregnant before I even knew I was pregnant, which is kind of strange. So when I came to her, she really wasn't surprised. She knew that me and this guy had gotten really serious. I think she was more of like just scared for me. And of course, I didn't understand that at the time. I'm just like, you just want to run my life. And
how is the support from family? Are you doing it all on your
own? My family is like a much older type of setting family. I was adopted, so there's like no young girls or anything like that in the family. There's not really a lot of support just because like they're really hard. Like everybody, all the women in my family are very strong, be independent. They don't want to give you too much of a bone to lean on because they don't want you leaning too much.
Do you think that was good for you, or would you rather have had some more support?
I honestly would rather have had some more help. I think like what I went through mentally and emotionally was worse than like what I learned as far as being independent. I felt like I was already independent and it was just really hard. So I would have rather have had a little bit more help.
What do you think if you would have had waited instead of 19 to have your first kid to 29 to have your first kid? How would it have been a lot different?
I think it would have been a lot different, not only financially, but what a lot of girls don't understand, they get pregnant and they're like, oh, I'll be able to buy diapers and clothes and this and that, but there's so much more to parenting. And I think if I would have waited till 29, I would have grew a lot more and understood a lot more, like how do you teach your kid how to be angry but still punish them at the same time. You want them to grow up and be headstrong and on the right track also, and it's hard to do that if you don't even have that instilled in yourself.
How did you feel when you first found out you were pregnant with your first child?
Yes, I was nervous and scared initially.
What made you overcome your fears of being pregnant?
Well, I've always been the type of person to just take my responsibilities on. It was kind of like, this is something that I did, something I have to deal with. And of course, as the baby began to grow and, you see pictures of him, it just turned into like, still nervous but kind of excited.
What was your biggest challenge being like a teen parent?
I think the biggest challenge and what a lot of young girls tend to overlook is that it's so much at one time. It's like not only do you have like a small child that's like first priority and so much to deal with, at the same time you have all these other things going on like work and school, and it's kind of just hard to keep it all together, and hold it down. That's what I think.
How did you manage it?
I really don't know. It's been like almost 3 years now. When I look back on it, I don't know how I really got through it. I would say I prayed a lot and just was very determined.
What type of advice would you give to somebody else in your position?
If somebody else was like, they already were young and they already have had the children, I would just tell them to be firm in what they're doing, be a mother, but at the same time, just like strive for you and your kids. And even when it gets tough, just know that in the long run, there's going to be something better.